It's Monday, May 6, 2024. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and make sure that you just share these videos with everyone you know, blast it on your social media, and hit that bell notification. If you're subscribed, hit that bell notification down below so that you are alerted when the newest videos drop. Now, I want to get right into the news today. Dow Jones up 176 today. We're approaching 40,000 on the Dow. NASDAQ 192. Gold up $25 today, sitting at 23.33. Silver had a nice day, up a buck, sitting around 27.70. So the precious metals are telling us something. They're either anticipating a rate cut or more inflation. And if we do get that rate cut, we're going to get more inflation. But at the end of the day, metals know that more inflation is coming. Here's the title of an article today from CNBC. Stocks rise to start the week on hope of Fed rate cuts. The markets have no fundamentals. The markets aren't going up because more jobs are being created. Markets aren't going up because you're making more money. The economy is improving. We're manufacturing more. No, the markets are going up because of the hope, just the hope that the Fed is going to cut rates. Think about what the Fed has done literally over 2 decades, keeping rates at nearly zero, printing tons of money, trillions of dollars, which has caused the mess that we're in right now. So what they want to do is go right back to what caused this mess, printing money and cutting rates so that the Wall Streeters can get all this cheap, easy money. We're nowhere near 2% inflation, and they're telling us to hope, to believe in the hope that the Fed is going to cut rates. Based on what? I don't understand this. If you do, please let us all know. But I don't see how you're going to have a booming economy when everything is dependent on what the Fed does, how much money they're going to print, how many mortgage-backed securities they're going to buy, how many stocks they're going to buy, how many bonds they're going to buy, how many times they're going to cut rates. It just goes on and on and on. How about maybe we start making stuff, producing stuff here, actually have a real economy that performs on its own, doesn't need the Fed to come in and artificially inject money and manipulate everything. How about that? Now, this article that I was reading today, it came out about 6 days ago from Newsweek. And if there's one thing you read today, it should be this article, because this is a major canary in the coal mine. Small businesses in crisis as rising numbers unable to pay rent. 43% of small business renters in the U.S. were unable to pay their rent in full and on time in the month of April. What does that say about the U.S. economy? Look, the Dow Jones can go to 40,000 tomorrow. Does it really matter? Is it helping you? Is it helping your small business? Is it helping your community? 43% of small business renters in the U.S. unable to pay their rent in full and on time. This is a disaster. This is a major indicator of just how bad the economy really is. And this just reinforces this disconnect between the stock market and the real economy. There is no connection. Renters' hopes of being able to buy a home have fallen to a record low, New York Fed surveys shows. The share of renters who believe that they are one day that they'll be able to afford a home fell to a record 13.4%. That is absolutely astonishing. 13.4%. Respondents expect rental costs to increase by 9.7% over the next year. And we're talking about the Fed cutting rates when people are expecting rent costs to increase 9.7% over the next year. If it does half of that, it's way too much. It shouldn't be going up, it should be going down. Home prices have been staying up way too high for too long. Even though the housing market has collapsed, most people are not buying homes at this point. The market is extremely stagnant, but we're not seeing prices coming down like they should. So what should the Fed do? Should they be cutting rates? No, what the Fed should be doing is raising rates. That's going to force rents down. That's going to force the price of homes down. If the Fed does not begin raising rates, and if this government doesn't begin to cut spending and stop this needless spending that's going on, we're going to have very, very big trouble. And I think we have big trouble right now, and it's going to get much worse, apparently, because we know that they're not going to stop spending. I have no idea what the Fed is going to do. One thing I what I do believe is they're not going to be cutting rates this year. But what they should be doing is raising, and I don't think they're going to do that. Americans expect mortgage rates to rise to nearly 10% in the next 3 years, New York Fed Housing Survey finds. I think it's going to happen way before 3 years. I think it could happen much sooner than that. But all this while home prices continue to rise. We have higher mortgage rates, higher prices. Who can buy a house at this point? Most people in this country cannot. I checked bankrate.com on a 30-year fixed rate today, sitting at 7.34%. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. Sellers having a very, very difficult time selling their homes, but too many sellers still believe it's 2022. Welcome to reality, sellers. It's 2024. Those days are long over. If you want to sell a house, you're going to have to lower your price. And that's what should be happening. And I think it will happen at some point. But I do believe mortgage rates are going to go higher. You know, if you have a 700 FICO, you're probably looking at, I think right now, around 8.07% on a 30-year. If you have, you know, a mid 600, that number's probably closer to 8.5. Most people don't have great credit now. Credit's being decimated because they can't keep up with the credit cards. They can't keep up with the rent. They can't keep up with their student loans. And so most people now aren't going to have perfect credit. So they're going to have to pay more to borrow money as rates continue to go up. Does California law that will drive restaurant menu prices higher? That's a title here on Fox Business. Our governor, Gavin Newsom, just signed a new law banning junk fees. And this will go into effect July 1st, banning junk fees with restaurants. So you would get the surcharge on top of your bill, and this would go towards the employees of the restaurant for their insurance and things like that. Well, now this new law will prohibit restaurants from adding those surcharges and fees to your bill. And so now these restaurants are going to have to raise their prices. And so we're going to see another rise in prices here in California at our restaurants. So, you know, most people looking for a job in the restaurant business now are probably just going to go to McDonald's, where they're going to make the most money, or they're going to go to a fast food restaurant. The smaller restaurants now have to compete with these fast food chains, which they're having a very difficult time doing. So they're going to have to match the $20 per hour to get people to work at those restaurants. And now they don't have the benefit of adding on those surcharges and fees. So it's going to be much, much more difficult. But I mean, it's really ridiculous to think, even when you go to a restaurant, that you're going to have to deal with, that you have been dealing with, surcharges and fees on top of all the other nonsense. Unbelievable. But it's going to be another blow to the small restaurant owners here in California. Americans can't stop spaving. It's a new term. Spaving. Here's how to avoid this financial trap. Spaving is spending more to save. And what do I mean by that? Well, you go to a store, and you'll see limited time offer, limited time deal, buy one, get one free. You go to the grocery store, it's buy 4, get one free, buy 3, get one free, buy 2, get the third one half off. A lot of that happening. That is spaving. Spend a little more and you get free shipping. You know, so when you're online, Amazon or whatever, you know, if you make a minimum order of $50, we'll give you free shipping. $100, we'll give you free shipping. Things like that. So people are justifying their desire to spend more with spaving. People are constantly spending more than they can afford. Even in this economy, as bad as it is, people are so addicted to spending. They're so addicted to Amazon because they just love having packages arrive daily to their home. There's people that are just addicted to having packages delivered to their home. I would give this advice today, that if you need a credit card to purchase something, don't purchase it unless it's a complete emergency. If you need a credit card to buy something, do not do it. If you cannot pay cash for it, do not do it. If you need to do a buy now, pay later plan, do not do it. Pay cash. If you can't pay that credit card off at the end of the month, do not do this, ladies and gentlemen. Daily Mail today. Famed economist who predicted 2008 recession warns Feds of huge shock coming and reveals the stock market bubble that is about to burst. David Rosenberg, founder of Rosenberg Research, says a course correction is on the way. He says the job numbers are overstated and they are extremely distorted. I think most people watching this video today would say that most of the numbers we're getting are extremely distorted. The job numbers are very, very distorted. They have manipulated the job numbers so much. And that's the thing. We really need, I hate to say this because I don't want to see people suffer, but they're suffering right now. And this is a very, very slow death by 1,000 cuts, where people are just running out of money. They're running out of time. They're working multiple jobs. They're just trying to keep their heads above water. And it just seems like every day prices of everything just go up a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And it's just strangling a majority of this country. We need things to collapse. We really need some sort of reset to take place. And if things don't collapse, we need the housing market to collapse. If it doesn't collapse, the middle class will never be able to buy a home. The poor, the working class, the first-time buyers will never have the opportunity to buy a home because these prices are so elevated and these properties are not worth what they're asking. Stocks completely overvalued, highly elevated. The stock market is more overpriced now than it has ever been. Commercial real estate completely overpriced. We need all this to crash so we can figure out what the real value of these assets are. Gold, silver, extremely undervalued. When things crash, you're going to see the price, in my opinion, of gold and silver go through the roof because that's where they should be right now. They should be much more than where they're at right now. But everything is so highly manipulated. We need things to crash and we need things to reset to where they should be. MSN. This Wall Street bear is predicting the biggest crash since 1929. Here's how to prepare your portfolio. I won't go too much into it. Mark Spitznagel, hedge fund manager, he says, we're witnessing the greatest credit bubble in human history. I think most people would agree with that. Massive credit bubble. It's going to burst. We are going to see so many bubbles burst. Derivative bubble, bond bubble, stock bubble, commercial real estate bubble, housing bubble, credit bubble. It's all going to burst, ladies and gentlemen. The scary thing here is, you know how they always say it's different this time? It is different this time because we've never had so many bubbles so overinflated as we do now. And I believe that when one of these bubbles bursts, watch out because they're all going to follow. And you're going to see all of these bubbles at some point burst. But what bubble will burst first? Because the first one that does is going to set this daisy chain off of bubbles. And this is why you must be preparing. Berkshire's growing cash pile has a hidden message on stocks. This is on the Hedge today. You have Warren Buffett saying this: we'd love to spend it, but we won't spend it unless we think we're doing something that is very that has very little risk and can make us lots of money. I believe that was Warren Buffett. It was somebody at Berkshire Hathaway. U.S. stocks are seeing no evil and certainly hearing none. But Berkshire Hathaway's ever-growing cash pile should hold a tacit warning for those who are over-exuberant. And there's a lot of FOMO out there in the market right now, ladies and gentlemen. They're holding $189 billion in cash right now. They say that that pile is going to exceed $200 billion at some point. What does Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway know that most people don't know? Why are they building up this war chest of cash? They're gonna have over $200 billion in cash at some point. I would assume that they know that some big sales are coming and they're going to capitalize on these sales. And how are they going to do it? They're going to take cash and they're going to buy all this stuff up. They're going to buy real estate. They're going to buy stocks. They're going to buy probably commercial buildings. They're going to buy whatever they want to buy because they're sitting on a boatload of cash, and they're going to spend it on these assets that are going to take major, major haircuts. Big losses are coming. They're already happening. We're just not being told. These regional banks must be shivering, shaking right now with the mess that they're in, because they know that this commercial real estate, they don't want it back because they're not going to get half of what they lend on these properties. Look at banks that made these awful car loans. How in the world is this going to play out? Billions of dollars on these car loans. Loan to value on some of these automobiles, 140%. These things are worth half of what they were 2 or 3 years ago now, what these banks lent. They're going to take huge losses. And how many people spent $100,000, didn't even get a home inspection, didn't even care, and bought a home that they don't even like now? And this is going to end really, really bad. Really, really bad. And, you know, people that just got duped into the FOMO of buying cars and buying houses and running up credit cards and all this nonsense, these people are going to pay a huge price here. They're going to lose everything. So as I leave you today, a little bit more advice that I would give anybody, because people are always looking for advice. I don't have all the answers. I just hope that you watch these videos and it makes you think a little bit and maybe makes you take action. But I think most of all, if we start thinking and asking questions, maybe we will take more action. Maybe we will protect ourselves. I would get in the best shape of my life, and I would have skills. I would not just be in the best shape, but know how to protect yourself. Make sure that your body's in shape and that your body can protect you. Know how to use your hands. Know how to wrestle. Have skills. You know, have some skills, because you're going to see as the economy breaks down. We keep hearing more about this, you know, civil war, the unrest that we're seeing in a country, and we're seeing it at universities across America right now. But you got to be able to protect yourself and protect your families. Make sure that you're proficient with your tools, that you're at the range. But again, make sure you're getting your body in the best shape you can, and make sure that you have skills, that your body has skills to survive. That if you unfortunately land up in a confrontation, that if you cannot walk away or run away, that you can defend yourself. And your kids should have those skills too. I'm so proud of so many people who are back out working, you know, back at the gym working out, doing their boxing, doing their jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, all that good stuff. These are skills that unfortunately you may need, and you should be ingraining these skills into your kids too, because the amount of bullying that we're seeing, your kids should know how to protect themselves. And, you know, these are skills that they will take with them for the rest of their lives, especially people that have daughters. Your daughters should know how to defend themselves, because that's something that they will take with them throughout life. There's some really bad people out there, evil people who like to prey on women, like to prey on little kids. So, you know, give them a foundation right now to learn how to win, how to survive. These are skills that they will take with them for the rest of their lives. And you as a parent should have these skills too. So we should all be training. I got an hour of boxing in today. Thank you, Coach Lionel. He's patient with me. We've been working hard. And it's not easy. It's not easy, but you know, I believe in walking the walk. I believe in that you should have a good ground game. You should have boxing. You should be at the range. You should be working on your finances, getting your debts paid down, walking extremely close to God. These are all things that we all need to be doing, walking the walk. This is not a one-dimensional game. This is a multi-dimensional game. The person with the most money doesn't win here. The person that, you know, has the best, you know, physical skill sets doesn't win the game here. You better have all the skills. You better be multi-dimensional, because you're going to need it for what's coming. This is going to be absolutely biblical. I've never seen anything like this, and there's just so much manipulation with what they're letting you know. I think if people really knew how bad this was, they would be in shock. But they're good at covering it up. They're good at putting the fires out. They're good at just every day telling you everything's going to be okay. Don't listen to the negativity out there. That's all it is. Go out, spend money. Don't worry about if you lose your job. Don't worry about if you can't really afford this lifestyle. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the repercussions. Just keep spending. That's what they want you to do. You should be doing the opposite now. You should be getting out of the system, and you should not be spending on on anything other than essentials at this point. As Bill Holter said, he who loses the least is going to win this. Protect yourself, protect your assets, protect your family. Hunker down, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the time to be gambling or taking risks. This is the time to protect everything that you have. God bless every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Share this video, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you. Comment down below. I love the comments. Everybody I know reads those comments. Some of them are crazy, some of them are kooky, but 99% make a whole lot of sense. So thank you so much. God bless.